that is when you set goals, you work towards them. And part of your goals is now in this space to satisfy yourself and make sure that you are not depriving yourself. How are you managing the now? We have so many entrepreneurs, so many business people, but we now need to get to a place where our businesses start scaling up and growing. And to get to that place, we need to start the basics. If you can master the basics are what will hold your money together in a very, very long time. Yeah.
I think my pointer from one of the things that you mentioned was the why you're doing the business. The why usually gives you like a benchmark of where you're heading with so many things, you know what I mean? Because I think so many of us get into business just because there's nothing you're doing and you can just simply start a business, but that's not how it works. I'll tell you now, speaking of challenges, like when COVID hit, that was 2020 and 2021, the first people to be knocked out of business was us in events. I think I had depression like 5 times that year because it was not hitting as to why this happened. You know, there was a lot of like whys, because again, for me, I'm not doing even this because I need to be a celebrity. I have no qualms in trying to be one. I do it because it's coming from a place where I'm coming from, trying to be independent. For me, I find a lot of passion about empowering women when I see them doing things for themselves and not by just a man, because men, we won't say anything about them today, but that's a topic for a different day. But like, that shouldn't be the reason why you can survive. You should be able to survive on your own. And trust you me, when my business went downhill, I started thinking of plan B up to Z. I went through all those letters. And even though I did make a little bit of money from the business that I eventually started, it wasn't something I was passionate about, so it stressed me out very, very much. And then I went into a lot of issues of now, you know, there was clients that wanted like their money back, because you know, when you offer certain services, they pay you a certain amount of money, you need to pay back clients. And then, you know, my business was just at the peak of growing. We were 5 years in, and you know, now I was starting to see my profits. Oh, it was lovely, missing all that money, you know, paying back people money that you don't have. It just became a disaster. And you really also just need to go, obviously that would be another business discussion in another workshop, but mentally you need to be very ready for financial issues that can happen to a business, because it's not just not having the financial idea on how to manage your money, but even mentally you need to be able to know to say, okay, if COVID happens, that coin that Moaba said I should be saving every year, am I going to be able to tap into it to be able to do something? I think for me, those are one of the things that I knew to say was a challenge that I needed to be addressed. And a lot of businesses like myself also needed that advice. And this is why, obviously, we have Moaba again. So thank you very much for those pointers. And I hope, again, you're taking notes. For those of you that have just come, the lovely latecomers, I'm sure you have realized that we start on time here.
I'm so happy for that, to be honest. And before I forget, before I lose my train of thought, after what you said, another thing that business women are not doing. You know how we preach diversify, have more than one source of income. This is what happens. This is what she just said. When something has failed, what's your backup plan? A lot of business owners, so let me give you a brief background about myself if you don't know. My whole career in finance, which I think is well over 7 years now, has been in investment advisory. That's my strong point, that's my passion. So even when you come to me, please, don't come to me because you're in debt. Make money, pay your debt. When you pay your debt and make more money, come and talk to me. Yeah. So that's what I love to do. Apart from helping you budget your debt or whatever, let's talk about how you're going to grow your net worth. That's my passion. So what I've realized is, I'll tell you this from working in the industry. Number one, the wealthy people are not employees like me. They're business owners. So that shows you the potential you have to make money. The wealthy people are business owners who employed smart people to work for them, and they have millions to invest. And the investment advisory I'm specialized in is for high net worth individuals. So I know people have money, and I know businesses are able to grow and make money for a fact. How those businesses sustain themselves, another thing that I've learned from the entrepreneurs that have been privileged to manage their finances for, is that they diversify. So with the thing with